Guys, what we're going to do in this video is actually talk about a point extension that can be very useful when trying to get the total number of consumption units. And what that point is, or that I should say what that extension is the totalization extension. And what I want to do is I want to capture the total number of gallons of chilled water flow. This system does not have a meter that is capable of reading the total number of gallons, so we're going to add one. What we do have is the actual flow. We do have in gallons per minute. You can see here what our flow is, and we want to pull that information out. So the way that we're going to do that, I'm going to click into this point within Metasys MUI, and then what I want to do basically is I want to get to the network tree. And by clicking the blue highlighted area here, it will take me directly to the network tree where that point is. It will open everything up, and you can see here I have my point. There is already a trend set up so I can trend that flow, but I don't want a trend. I want to know what the total amount is. So what we're going to do with that point highlighted, I'm just going to move this over to where we have a little bit more room. I'm going to press the plus sign. When I press the plus sign, it's going to give me my pop-up window here to where I can add an extension. And click the drop down. I have extension selected right here, and it's going to give me the object type. And what I want to select is the totalization. Once I select the totalization, I can give it I can actually change whatever value or attribute that I wanted to change on this. Of course, we want present value. That is going to be the value that we need because that is what the meter is actually showing that the flow is. So I'm going to select next, and this is going to bring us to the configuration window, and this is where you need to pay attention, especially to the time base as well as the scale factor. What we're flowing in this is basically in GPM. You can see it here, 147 GPM. Of course, it is live data, so it is fluctuating something. And GPM, gallons per minute, so we need to know that for getting this set up properly. Our time base for this is going to be in minutes. I can select seconds, minutes, or hours. If I wanted to select minutes, that's what I've hit there. But depending on the type of units that you're using, for example, if you have your kilowatts, your total number of, or I should say your demand for an electric meter, all you have is your usage as far as kilowatts, and you needed the total number of kilowatt hours, you could use this to get that information as well. Our scale factor, we're going to leave that at 1 because it is 1 gallon per minute. So that is our scale factor for this. And then we're going to select create. It's going to take it just a moment, and it has now created that totalization extension for us. But now what can I do with that information? Well, what I want to do is I want to jump down here to where I'm going to add it to our metering. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to add some LCT logic. And I've already talked about LCT logic before in another video, but we're going to talk about it again in this video because this shows how you can use that totalization extension object when working with your data. So I have the folder highlighted here where I'm going to put the LCT logic. And I'm simply going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to select object here from this pop-up window. The object type is going to be program. And that is what's going to get me what I need. For this, I'm going to call this just something simple. And that way I can recognize it whenever I'm going through my system. This is basically all default. I'm going to leave it that way. There's no need for me to add anything else to this currently. I'm going to press create, and it's going to create this logic block for me. And now that I have that created, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my big pencil button, and that's going to bring me into my edit window here. And I'm going to grab a couple of points. So I'm simply going to click and drag my output reference into view, and it's going to bring up my network tree to where I can drill down into my network to find the particular point that I need. So I'm going to drill down to the particular engine that is that has the data that I need. I'm going to drop that down. I'm then going to scroll down to the folder where those points are at, and I'm actually going to select both of them just like this. I'm just holding down the control button, click both of them, hit OK, and it's going to populate both of them into my LCT panel. It'll take it just a moment, just like that, and it is here. Now I'm going to select my input reference. So I'm going to grab my input reference, and I'm going to drop this down because I also want to go ahead and get the BTUs for this. Simply, I'm using this logic for something else for our energy dashboard, and I don't want to modify the values that are in the point that is currently reading BTUs. So I'm simply going to add this to another point, and there again, basically what I'm doing is I'm taking one present value and writing it into another present value for a specific purpose. And I'm going to drop that there, and I'm going to go up to application, and that's what I always set these at. But guys, if you're wanting to get more into LCT, go check out the other video that I've done on that on my channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. Now we want to get the data that we originally started after, and that is the total number of gallons. So again, I'm going to grab the input reference. I'm going to drag it out here into my panel. It's going to, again, bring my window up. I'm going to drill down into my network tree, and I'm going to define that point. And not only am I going to find the point, but basically what I want to do, I'm going to go back into the flow, chill water flow. So let's see, here's our valve. It just takes just a moment, guys, because there's a lot of points in this system. And we're going to drill down, and I'm probably going to scroll over it a time or two before I notice it. You guys will probably notice it before I do. And here we are. Here is our flow. I don't want to grab just that point. What I want to do is I want to drop down that point, because when I click that little plus sign that's right beside it, what it's going to do is actually show me the extensions that are on that point. And I want to grab the totalization. So I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to select OK. The totalization is going to pop into my window. The present value of that totalization is what I want from it. If I pull this window up, you can see I do have some other options. I do not need any of those. What I need is that present value, that number that the totalization generates from the way that we set it up. Again, I'm just going to hover over where it says out, and I'm going to click and drag, and then write that value into the analog value that I have set up, and select 12 for my application. Again, that's just how I do things. It goes back to troubleshooting that we used to do prior to for some of the features that we have now. I like keeping things consistent. And now I have that set up. I'm simply going to hit save, and we will have our data here in just a few minutes. If you watch it, you're going to see once it starts populating data here, we're actually going to start getting a count for the total number of gallons that are being used. And you can see we're already getting that number right here just in a short period of time. Now there again, guys, this is pulling a lot of data. You can see the current gallons of usage is at 719, and that's based on what the flow and everything was currently doing on this. But you can see here, guys, this is a basic way of how you can use the totalization object extension to get an actual consumption unit. Guys, hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments below. Please like and share the video. Check out all of the links down below. You can help support the channel by buying anything through any of those links, going over to Amazon or anything. Anyways, guys, or super thanks or just whatever. You can even become a channel member, and we'll come up with something special for channel members at a later time. But guys, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel, and we will see you next time.